Welcome in, everyone, to the Blue Demon Room podcast, where DePaul Athletics is so excited to bring you stories of its student athletes, coaches, and alumni. I'm your host, Casey Standahar, and today I'm thrilled to introduce two of our next guests from the DePaul men's tennis team. We got two seniors, Jona Gitschel and Matteo Iaquinto. You are both seniors, both international tennis players. What made you want to come to the U.S. to play tennis? I'll start with you, Matteo.
Well, the choice of coming to play in the U.S. was a kind of a last-minute choice. My idea of playing was always, after high school, ideally go play professional, but I understood quite quickly that my level wasn't there yet, so the collegiate route was my best option. Mm-hmm. So that was the main driving force to come to the U.S. and play tennis.
What about you, Jona?
It's very similar to Matteo. I mean, especially with COVID, we weren't really able to compete, and that piece was kind of missing, like the complete package for me to go on the pro tour. That's for sure. Like, just the experience was missing, and I committed very late to DePaul. I think it was like July before coming here in September. And yeah, so it was very late, but it turned out to be a very great decision.
Absolutely. We are glad to have you here at DePaul. I want to know about your hometowns, what it was like growing up in different parts of the world and the differences that you see here.
Well, I grew up in Palermo, Italy. Compared to Chicago, of course. I mean, any other city is pretty more smaller. Mm-hmm. But again, life in Palermo is a lot slower. Here, the life is very fast-paced. The lifestyle is just much more comfortable. The weather's nicer, and yeah, people are probably also warmer in a way.
Okay, what about you, Jona?
I mean, for me, I kind of grew up in a bigger town in Germany, especially my region where I'm from. There's a lot of people. We have like two big cities with like each around 1 million people. So I kind of knew the fast-paced life there. I grew up in not a suburb, but like a little smaller city next to it, mm-hmm. And it was a good combination of both. It's sort of like Lincoln Park, I would say.
Okay.
So that's probably also why I love it so much.
That's a good comparison. Now we know Lincoln Park is like a town in Germany. That's good to know. How did you both start playing tennis?
Well, my story is kind of funny. So my family didn't play tennis at all. So I unfortunately picked it up from the TV. I kind of wish I clicked the other channel. But
wait. What makes you say that?
Just a long road.
Yeah,
long road.
The difficulty of the sport.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then I went to a party at a bowling alley, and there was this tennis club right next to it, and that's where I grew up. And I saw kids playing, and I was like, "Oh wow, that looks so fun!" And I asked my mom to sign me up for tennis, and then here I am today.
Do you remember who you were watching on TV when you were as a kid?
Yeah, it was a German tennis player. His name is Cole Schreiber.
Cool.
I don't remember the opponent though, but I remember him.
That's cool.
Okay.
Jona, how did you get into tennis?
For me, both my parents were volleyball players, so my parents were always involved in sports. But in Germany, just tennis is a very popular sport, probably a top 3 sport. Mm-hmm. And my brother started playing, and then they had to take me with them, and that's how I got into it. It's like a small club, like 5 minutes walk from my house, and that's where I started playing.
So the access for both of you was there, right? It wasn't 100%. Like it was difficult sport to access in Italy or in Germany?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I mean, in my hometown, we have like 6 tennis clubs, and what's so nice about it is I can just take the bike to any of them. I'm there in like 20 minutes.
Okay.
So,
Matteo, we already heard that you mentioned it's a tough road and a difficult sport. What do you love about it, though?
Well, I definitely love the challenges, the ups and downs. The main thing I liked about my experience as a tennis player was all the improvements and like seeing how I was before, and then seeing how I got better through those challenges. that's probably the main satisfaction I get when I play, and when I win matches, just see how I was before, and then if I look at myself now, I just see, oh wow, I made many steps forward.
Yeah, cool to be proud of the improvement, right?
Yeah.
What about for you, Jona? What do you love about it?
Especially coming to college, I like the experience of having a team around you. I mean, we both play team matches at home in our hometowns. But I think it makes it a lot, like it makes it so, I don't know, so energetic and dynamic, and it's just nice to have a team around you to celebrate with. But also when I played alone, I really like Matteo said, the challenges, like the mental aspect to it, you know, a close match, and there goes a lot more into it than what people might see.
Sure.
It's super mental.
It seems kind of like golf. I really have never played tennis, so I don't know. But like being kind of an individual sport, and yes, there are teams, but have you guys played golf? Is it similar at all to the feeling of golf where you're kind of out there by yourself?
I've heard a lot about that, but I've never played golf myself. But we have a couple of teammates that play golf pretty decently, and they kind of say it's pretty similar in terms of like mental challenges and mainly mental, because in the end it's not very physical.
Sure.
Golf, I suppose, but yeah, it's pretty similar, I guess, in the mental battle.
What are you guys telling yourselves before a tennis match, or traveling for competition, to kind of get yourself in the right mental state?
Well, for me, it always starts like a couple of days before, the night before. I try to visualize positive moments where I'm feeling confident, winning points, and then close it out with like me winning the last point. But usually always I try to put myself in a headspace of confidence and feeling relaxed and weathering the pressure.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I sort of like for the last year, I had like a specific match routine. I woke up in the morning, took a cold shower, started yoga for 20, 30 minutes. And that I just needed that for my head to know that I'm ready, and I'm always starting with the same feeling. And I only did that on match day, not before practices. So it always made me feel ready and relaxed. Did some breathing exercises. Like Matteo said, imagining some points, the feeling of like hitting like a very clean forehand, or stuff like that just gets you ready. I think it's very personalized. Some people like to eat sweets the night before just so they go to bed with like a good feeling. But for me, that was something that made me feel very ready.
I like to eat sweets no matter what before bed. How did you guys kind of pick up those techniques? For you, Jona, it is the routine, right? But for you, Matteo, it's that visualization. Did you get that from someone else, or did you just kind of know what worked for you over time?
I mean, for me, my freshman year, I had to fight with some anxiety before matches, especially. Like sometimes it was not even about technique on the court or anything. It was just like your head is just in a way. And from like many professionals and other people, I heard that yoga is a way of not just activating your body, but also your mind, like connecting your mind. And I don't know how they say it, but it really helps me focus on the like important things and quiet your mind before the games.
In my case, I came in here not having much structure, and in that sense, I improved it year after year by older teammates, and then also like our coach mentioning visualization a lot, seeing some other teammates do it, hearing their experiences, then traveling and hearing other players' experiences and like how they prepare before a match, and trying to implement the good things that I liked, and steering away from the stuff that I didn't really think would help me.
Sure. So when you talk about coming here, what was the process like? What was the recruitment like getting to DePaul?
In my case, I saw Coach Brothers in a tournament in Greece. So that's where I met him the first time, and that was like 2 years prior to signing. And we just kept in contact for a long time, exchanging like videos, tennis videos, match videos, and always getting on a phone call and whatnot. And of course, then you get to the moment of signing, and you're offered and whatnot, thinking about other schools. but DePaul was definitely my first choice.
Jona, was it your first choice as well?
Yes, it was. Simply because I was so late in the recruitment process that any school I talked to didn't have a roster spot left or no scholarship. And then in the end, it just came down to the location, honestly, because I didn't know much about Chicago, but I knew it's a big town, a lot to do. And one of the guys from the recruiting agency said that in Chicago, like no matter what the time, there's always something to do, and that's what I really like. So yeah, it was really just a place because I didn't know much about what's good and what's not in the U.S.
I think for college students and international students, Chicago is really overwhelming but great spot because you have the college campus here at DePaul, but then the city is 10 minutes away. So like you said, there's just so much to do. When you guys got to Chicago, what was the adjustment like in the United States? I know you mentioned, Jona, you were from a pretty big spot in Germany anyway. So was it like shell shock for you?
For me, I'm always talking to to Leon, who had his it was his third year of college, but he came to DePaul with us too, and we were walking around. I always tell him it felt so surreal to be here and looking at the bigger buildings. We have those in Germany too, but it was just a different feeling.
Right.
I think for the first week, I was not realizing that you're in a different space.
Yeah.
And that's probably also because of how the city is structured. So.
Matteo, for you, I mean, I've been to Italy once. I went to Sardinia, and it was gorgeous. But I was overwhelmed because it was not a tourist town. It's very secluded, private. People were like, "What are these American girls doing here?" So for you coming to Chicago, was it kind of the opposite, where you were kind of amazed by how big and overwhelming it was?
It's a very different experience, yes. But at the same time, I wasn't very surprised just because I've been coming to the U.S. every year since I was a kid. So the change of scenery wasn't very important. The main change for me was the lifestyle. Coming in as a freshman, of course, everybody knows that there's a big switch in terms of meeting a lot of new people, going out a little more and exploring new things. So that was the main kind of eye-opening experience for me.
Mm-hmm. So some differences, but not totally overwhelming for either of you.
Yeah, I would say so.
All right, very cool. Guys, we're having a great conversation about what it was like coming to Chicago, but I want to go back even further to when you started to fall in love with tennis. What was the moment that made you realize you wanted to pursue collegiate tennis?
Want me to go first?
Yeah.
Sure. For me, one experience that definitely closed the deal for me was going and playing a futures tournament, or at least trying to play because I didn't even get in there. I played pre-qualies in a tournament in Antalya in Turkey, and the level there was just super, super high, especially just because after COVID, there weren't many tournaments around, so every tournament was stacked. So that wasn't probably a realistic 15K tournament, but still, that was okay, dude, you don't have the level for this. Buckle up a little bit, and then you can try after, but right now, you don't have the level to compete in this.
Interesting. So it was almost like a moment where you didn't feel ready, that you were now I'm going to push to be ready.
Yeah, try to work more and see where you're at after, because right now you're not close.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Jona, what about for you? Was there one specific moment?
I mean, Matteo was probably closer to going up professionally too than me, but I think for me it was just, it's not really a negative notion, but for me it was just that I knew I probably don't have quite the level yet, and I just always loved to compete in a team. I used to be playing soccer as a kid, and also playing team matches. I really enjoyed that, and I think that this was kind of a way to still love the sport that I do. And I think I would have lost it if I would have gone to the tour. But initially, when I came here, I still wanted to become a pro. That kind of faded away, but that was because of other priorities.
Sure.
And,
Did your parents really want you to play volleyball instead?
No, they never pushed me to do anything. They just liked soccer and tennis, and I mean, my dad probably wanted me to play volleyball, but that was not really an interest of me. Now,
Right.
now I kind of regret it. Seeing volleyball in college
Yeah.
is super cool.
Watching beach volleyball on the lakefront,
like
right?
I would probably that would have been a cool
You
sport
could do it
to
for
pursue.
fun.
Exactly.
You guys are both graduating in the spring. Jona, for you, it's business analytics and administration for you, Matteo. What made you both choose those majors and those paths?
It's pretty easy for me. I didn't really look into any majors when I came to school. So essentially I asked my mom, like, what major should I pursue, blah, blah. And administration came up as pretty like broad in business, but I stuck with it with 4 years and no problems, but I didn't really think about choosing a major.
Well,
before
it's a
coming.
tough decision. I always say this. I think choosing a major is really tough at 17, 18 years
Yeah.
old, and choosing a college is tough. So good on you. Now you could take that anywhere you want.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I started in business administration as well, just because my brother was studying it at the time, and I didn't know what to do. It was kind of like an undecided major for me. But then after like 1 or 2 years, I knew that I would try to live here for a while, even after college. So going to business analytics as a STEM major would give me the option to get up to 3 years of working visa, which is still why I chose it. And also I just liked that it was like going deeper into the material than business administration.
How do you both manage everything that you have going on, whether it's practice, competing, traveling, schoolwork, personal life? How do you manage that, and do you feel like you've both gotten better at that as the years progressed in college?
It comes down to scheduling and your class times. You should pick your classes very carefully if you're coming in as a student athlete. One advice I'd give to any student athlete coming in is talking to your advisor and wording out your preferences in terms of like schedule. Just because there's a lot of classes that are offered in every school. But for me to keep myself in a comfortable, quote unquote, comfortable space, I always try to do my homework as soon as possible. Like this, I could have time to spend with like my friends, go out, play video games, watch movies, just like cut some time for myself.
Right.
First do the hard stuff and then have an easy one.
I mean, for me, I would like to say that I got a lot better at it, simply because the workload my freshman year was, for me, it was very, very high. I mean, I was in the library till like 12 a.m. Is it 12 a.m.?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
12 a.m. Like 3-4 days of the week. I think that also had to do with like my English skills were not as developed as now.
Sure.
But I would say doing everything on time and like Matteo said, trying to like attack the homework as soon as it gets to you, made me a lot, got me a lot more free time.
You guys have traveled all over the U.S., all over the world in some cases. Is there a certain place that stands out, whether it's just for fun for you or really like to compete in this one particular spot?
My favorite place that we've been to in college was California, specifically Laguna Beach. And that place was just like, in my opinion, was beautiful. The beach, rocky side, sand, weather, people were very nice, welcoming. It was a great trip. It was our spring break. We went to Newport and Laguna Beach.
I love Laguna.
Yeah.
What about for you, Jona?
I mean, he said in college
Cali.
it was the trip to California. Especially as freshmen, I think it was like an insane trip to go on. We've never been to I don't know if he has been, but I've never been to California at the time. It was just beautiful, nice people. We had a great house near the seaside, and it was amazing.
Because you guys travel and it's a small team and most of you are international students on the tennis team, do you feel like that makes it hard to connect with other people being from different countries, different cultures, or do you kind of just unite knowing like we're all kind of in this together?
We've had different experiences year after year, but generally we have a lot of different cultures within the team, but the one common factor that helps us all bring together is like being extroverted and trying to do things together. that definitely unites each other regardless of the cultural background. But probably being international is what gets us together, mainly just because everybody comes from a different place and they know
Sure.
that we're the first immediate friend group that they'd have.
Right.
Yeah, I can just piggyback off of that. It doesn't really make a difference for me where we're from. Especially, I think that we all add like a little touch to the group. Like Matteo said, from different cultures, and we kind of bring or like collect like the best input from everyone.
Do you guys get to do anything fun while you're traveling that is outside of tennis that, you know, you want to share that was like a fun memory?
I wish we did. Unfortunately, we didn't in a way, just because we didn't really have that much time.
Sure.
We'd always like travel Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and probably leave on Sunday, and we still have a match on Sunday. So, in theory, if you really wanted to do something, you would have to play on Saturday and then come back Sunday, but without playing. So,
Right.
we'd always be playing, so always be busy. But when we traveled, we didn't really cut up a lot of time for ourselves in terms of like having fun with the team. Except for spring break, where there's like a lot more time and is designated for team bonding and more time for yourself.
And how do you guys do that team bonding? Like, you've been at DePaul, both of you, since your freshman year. So how does the team kind of maintain that culture? You've seen it change year to year. What was that like?
Like every year it's different, but I think then every year it's also like the captains and like the older people's not choice but also duty to kind of adjust what is being brought over in the team. But yeah.
Every year is definitely different. We've had very, very, very polarized experiences with like new teammates. As we came in, you come in as immature, of course, you don't know much about the college life, and that's when your seniors and like upperclassmen are there for you to kind of pave the way for you and show you what to do, what not to do, show you the culture that was with them and try to instill that culture in you. But the hardest job is definitely to instill the culture within the new team, new guys, freshmen, just because a lot of them have different cultures, different mentality, different goals. But the one thing I try to tell anyone is try to instill the culture early and kind of be hard in a way, just because it's the only way that it will stay. Because if not, it only takes few different people with different goals, and it can all go away very fast.
Yeah.
Matteo, you have competed on the international level representing the Dominican Republic, and most recently you played in the Davis Cup. How does this type of play differ from your collegiate play in the Big East?
It's pretty different, essentially, just because one is collegiate and one is for the national team. The national team is at a bigger stage, quote unquote, than we would play here in the Big East. You're essentially playing for more. You're playing for your country, whereas here you're just playing for your institution. It's a different level, different pressure. I didn't get to play any singles. I just played one doubles match in the Davis Cup. But I didn't feel that much pressure. But once you get to the bigger stage and you step in the court, you're like, oh, okay. It really means something. It's different. It's very different.
Jona, I want to start with you for this next question. You're both departing as two-time Big East champs. What are you most proud of from your time here at DePaul, and what's one thing that you'll remember the most?
I mean, on our senior interview, I was talking about it a little bit, but coming as a freshman, and we had a super young team. Like, we were 5 new people, 4 of them freshmen, and the guys won it the year before as well. So there was a lot of pressure on us, but also I think that people just didn't expect that it's possible to win it again. And then, winning it at the end of the year, and we had a great season. I think we were unbeaten in Big East play. And, for me, I'm most proud of, I wasn't playing in the beginning. And then I got a chance, and I could really prove myself. And then being part of, the team that won the Big East in the end, I was really proud of that, and also of like all the other guys to adjusting to like a new environment.
Mm-hmm. Lot to be happy about.
Yes.
Matteo, what about you?
For me, the main things I'm proud of is definitely this year, given that it's probably my best tennis year I've had so far. And then last year, having clinched the semifinals and the finals at Big East. But definitely one of my happiest moments was when we won it my freshman year. That was like a new emotion. So winning it the first time for me was definitely a lot more euphoric than last year per se.
What is next for you both as you wrap up your collegiate careers?
Sure. I mean, for me, it's still in the. I still have to decide. Applying to jobs right now, internships, everything. But I'm planning to stay in Chicago. I hope I can. So yeah, I just like it here. Really feels like a home. I never really miss home, just because, from the day I arrived here, I really loved it. So yeah, I'm trying to stay here.
See, in my case, it's a little bit of murky water.
How so?
I'm still not sure what to do with my future yet. So I'm taking this time, like a couple of weeks, to put my mind to what I want to do, because I'm still very unsure on what paths I want to choose.
Well, I will say from experience, it's never too late to change your career. If you go one way and decide something else, that's totally okay too. Just a little bit of advice. But that's awesome that you want to stay too, because we love hearing that. You love Chicago. That's awesome. You guys have been a treat to have on the show. Thank you for coming on the podcast. We hope you had fun. I know I did. I learned a lot about tennis, and maybe someday I'll actually pick up a racket and play. So,
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course.
Us.
We wish you the best in the future. And that was Jona and Matteo on the Blue Demon Room podcast. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.